Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Play RimWorld. Okay, when we last left off we were being invaded by the tribes people of the Minoka of the Cliff. And there's another one and another one. So this guy I think is within range of the turret, but I think the other guy is not. So I think what we'll do is right, so Squirrel is nearly finished, so I think we nearly finished sleeping, that is. So what I think we'll do is we'll get him to pick up the Lee Enfield once he's awake, and then take some cover somewhere and start shooting at these guys, because the Lee Enfield has quite a nice range, and I think this guy's carrying a short bow, if I'm not mistaken, yes, which means that they can fire further than the turret can actually shoot, but this person is throwing a spear. Right, so let's start the game. Okay, Squirrel is up already. Right, you're enlisted. I need you to pick up the Lee Enfield. Okay. This person is running away already. Actually, out of interest, what kind of character do we have? Nervous. What does that mean? Tends to crack under pressure. Mental threshold. Right, and what's the situation with this person? Right, so none of these would be any use for a recruit. Right, Squirrel, I think we'll get you to come down here. Oh, here, Squirrel. Right, somewhere where you've got cover, actually, so maybe up there. Because I don't want you to be out in the open. Oh, right, this white is now running away, in fact. Well, this is a pathetic run of an invasion. Bite was failed to be recruited. Okay, we shot white down. So let's have a little look at their thoughts. So if you can see that their mental breakhold threshold is 18%, which is because they've got the nervous trait, which is actually not, it's not terrible. And looking at them, they're actually, they're passionate about growing, they're passionate, they're interested in melee and shooting, which is always useful, and they've also got passionate about medical skills, but they're also able to do everything, apart from the incapable of dumb labour, which means I think hauling is a thing that they can't do. I think we should capture this person, you know. Yeah, capture them. Okay, there's another tribes person. Okay. Right, so now that we've successfully, or rather very successfully actually, only a few shots fired in this situation, we've dealt with the problem of the invasion, and I think what we should now think about is defending against further invasions. Now what I was thinking about, there's a defensive structure that you can build that's very common actually in this for players of this game, called a kill box. The problem that I've got here is that there's lots of open wide spaces, so I'm going to have to seal off a lot of areas, but it's not going to be a problem to sort of seal off this area here and this area here, as you can see. However, I think what we will need to have is some kind of... I tell you what would be ideal actually, is if we could build a kill box, in fact, in this space here. I've never built one so close to the main base, in particular because lots of explosions happen. that's the thing. And the other thing is that at the moment our prime source of energy production is this geothermal generator. So if that gets destroyed in the middle of a firefight, then that can be very bad for us. However, saying that, I feel tempted. Kill boxes are generally quite large, in fact. Right, so we carve out all of this here. The structure that I've got here, I generally don't build actually too much further forward than this. So what we could do is we could build a kill box starting here and then going up into this. Oh no, we can't go further than that, occupying that space. We might have to take some land out of here. The bigger, well, within certain think about that size. No, what about... Oh, there's a problem. We can't build on mud either, and that's all mud there. Right. Oh, what we could do, in fact, is we could have an elongated kill box like this, No. Building it here would probably be best. And then we'd have to seal off all the entrances apart from this one. But what we can do is we can use this natural choke point here to put some extra defences in if they get beyond that far. Right, okay, I'll tell you what. We'll cancel that. I think, yes, in this spot here then will be... And there's two geysers here, so we might even actually be able to capture them as well with the kill box being so close. Okay, but that means then we're going to have to... We've got two very large frontiers to sort of block in, which is this one here and this one here, because obviously we want to funnel the enemies into a single place, which also means that we have to make it easy for them, because the thing is, sometimes if the preferred path is through our wall, they'll actually start to attack the walls. This is actually quite sensible, I suppose, for AI to have. I think that's a good move on the developer's part. But what we have to do is create a hole so that they can. So we'll have to build a tunnel so that they can get through. So for example, if we build a wall here, and we want them to, and the enemies spawn on this portion of the map, then they either will want to go up and over and down, which in that case they'll probably just want to come through this wall here. But if we put a kill box in this space, then we want them to be able to come through here as easily as possible. But I think if they're using pathing to make them go the shortest distance, a tunnel through this section of hills here will probably be a good idea, because then we can tunnel. We can tunnel through there. They can walk through here, and that's the way that we want them to go. And I think what we'll also do is, in case enemies are coming down from this side, we'll also tunnel, I suppose, here as well, and so that means they'll all get caught up in this portion there. That's a lot of actual work that needs to happen, and so I don't think we'll put too many resources in too soon with that. But I think a good place to start is actually to probably wall off this section here, and I think if we wall off this section up to be honest, I want to get that steam geyser. Okay, we could possibly wall off this section. The only thing is that the shorter the tunnel, the quicker we can mine it out. Okay, I have an idea. Right, so what I'm thinking is... Okay, so just a little bit more planning. So power there, so that we want... Right, okay, so we need to mine out this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, here, like that. So we just double check the power again. Right, yes, so that'll fit in that space there. And that comes up to that tree there. Okay, so the next thing we do is put down a structure, just so that people don't attack the building itself. Right, all the way along to here. And then we'll step up another bit. So, 1, 2, 3. Actually, beyond the rubble would probably be best. Like that. Okay, so we can get the power from this here. We've got the ability now to tunnel through here, which should encourage them to come this way. What we'll also need to do then is to build a wall here. Actually, maybe it might be better for us to build a wall like that, because I don't want their AI to want them to go up a little bit. We want them to go up at this point in case they want to come through and attack our defenses here. But if they can come through here, then I think they'll be okay. Right, so that means we're channeling these guys into this space. So the next thing that we need to do is actually dig out, I think, all of that, to be honest, and I think provisionally that as well. So this is okay. That's fine. So then the next problem that we've got is actually this section here. We've got mud all over the place, which we can't in fact build on, which is a problem. I'll show you. We can't build on mud. We can build on soil, but not on mud. It's just a bit of a problem that that pond is there. Ah, what if instead of blocking off all that, we in fact just block off, we tunnel a tunnel through here that then leads into the kill box. I think that might actually work. So I think what we'll do, I'm not 100% certain how this is actually going to work out. It may well not work in all at all. But so please forgive me actually for the dilly-dallying in this particular episode. I'm not 100% convinced we'll actually get the results that we would like. Okay. So we'll get rid of that. Unfortunately, it does mean our graves are outside of our main area, but that doesn't matter to me too much. Okay, so what that also means is that when expanding, we do have this natural limitation here. We can possibly push out of that. It just depends on how likely the enemies are to try and come through. Okay, that I think will be enough. So what I think we should do, so building a kill box is actually quite a lot of resources at the moment. I don't think we've got enough because we've got other things to focus on. So and another thing is it doesn't actually, kill boxes don't protect us against enemy drop-ins if they do that. But what I think we can do is, so we do have this now choke point here. Once the walls are up anyway. So what I think we should do is probably put some additional defences down. Properties in this space here and this space here. Yeah, okay, security, improvised turret. We need to supply them with power, but we can use power conduits to do that. Okay, there. 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 There? I think possibly. And sandbags so that they're less likely to get hit. Okay. So I think that seems fine. Okay, so now we need to supply them with power, so we'll just use power conduit, and we can run a conduit to there and a conduit to there. Conduits are just like wires running across the ground. They're a bit of a pain because they're actually quite weak. So anyway, let's start the speed up. So, oh, actually, I tell you what, we also need to set to try and recruit white as well. In fact, white. No, squirrel, you are on duty, aren't you? Right. Okay, so construction has begun actually on this wall, which is surprising, well, for me anyway, surprisingly quick. Well, it's good actually, I'm pleased to see that they're, well, they're doing that. The only downside of building the walls like that is that it makes, for us getting out actually, a little bit long. What's this that's just happened? Ah, wreckage, let's jump and see what that was. Metals, good, we need metals, and it's not too far away from the main base. So we've also got, so obviously we've got two people here that we want to recruit. Bite, who is our blind researcher. And I've never actually had a blind researcher, so I'm not certain if they failed to recruit 11%. Did you got a good chance of actually 11% doesn't sound very much, but because you constantly are trying to recruit them with 11%, if you try within 10 goes, you should generally, I mean that's how statistics work. You should generally be able to get them. London, in fact, I don't see you doing any food production. Why is that? London. Plant cutting, growing, and cooking are all active. Yet there are plants here, and plants to be harvested, and you haven't done it. That's very disappointing. What's this? Ah, accounts rest. Oh, hold up. They're passing by, but they're not in fact coming to attack. Why is that? Oh well, if they've gone back to being amicable with us, then that's good, I suppose. Okay, this is where the metals come in handy actually for building these walls. I like to have metal walls just because they're a little on the stronger side. They're not actually. I know that I have mentioned before that they were fireproof. That they're not in fact fireproof. Which is a bit strange actually for metal. In my experience, metal is very difficult to burn, but London actually has got, I know that we mentioned that last time, has got a really good social skill. I'm really going to need you, London, to actually focus on Diddy's recruitment chance went down. I wonder if that's because they're displeased in here. It's funny that they're not walking out this door that's open, held open by... Oh, they're urgently hungry, that's why. London, there's all of these raspberry bushes out here that you can harvest from, and you're not doing any of it. I really need you to get to work. So when who's starving? Diddy is starving. Everyone's starving. London, this is your main task. Hold on, let's see what the problem is. Right. I don't want you to do any wardening, even though your social skill is bigger than and better than Diddy. I think that's where he's spending too much time. I want you to get... In fact, prioritize cutting down the raspberry bushes. This is what we're going to do. And I want you to prioritize cutting down as many raspberry bushes as you can before you start going off and eating the food yourself. Oh, solar flare. Solar flares, I don't know if we've discussed them previously, but they basically just keep cutting down all of these raspberry bushes until we have enough food. I tell you what we'll do. We're going to take off growing, because growing is what's pulling London away. Right. Good. London? Oh, no, you want to eat. Okay, well, I'll allow you to eat. Okay, how's the construction coming along? Squirrel's doing some work. Good. Right, good. Now London's eventually getting round to cutting down these things. How hungry are you guys? Not that hungry. Coming to be hungry. There's actually a whole bunch of bushes in this area as well, which I think we'll ask London to harvest from. Once the solar flare is lifted, then we should be able to start cooking again. Now you can see we've got lots more food. In fact, in my experience, not until you have lots of power are you able to really... what's this? Yes, okay, no, we know about that. Are you really able to start producing farmed food? Although there is an event that happens way too frequently for my liking. That means that a blight comes along and destroys all of your... I think we also need to claim this wall, because otherwise if it gets damaged we won't be able to repair it. That destroys all of your plants that you are currently growing. Right, London's starting to cook. Good, so that... Oh, crap. That's the problem with lightning, actually, because sometimes it can strike metal and you notice that there was some damage, but if it wasn't for the rain that we've got going on... Man, this sounds really loud. It's quite a ferocious storm. Okay. So the workers are doing work. Once we get extra people on board, then we should be in a much better position. We can dig out this area and have additional power. That'll be good. And then we can also contemplate about maybe trying to get one of these two, but they're a little bit too far outside of our field of influence, and it's quite difficult to hold on to quite a lot of territory. Right, so the conduits are down, good. The sandbags are up, good. You just need to get some of these walls finished. So this wall is finished, which is good. I actually do like this natural choke point that we've got here. I don't know if we should build a series of doors actually. Oh, is that us? What have we done today? Well, I suppose we successfully thwarted an enemy assault, and we've also started to plan the long-term oh, our base. Oh my goodness, there's fires everywhere. Thank goodness it's raining. Okay. Right, so we're nearly there though, actually. So we've got the basic outline, the basic borders, and then basic primary defences. I think what we'll do is, once these are up and running, I think if we get another turret up, we'll dismantle this turret here, and possibly stick another one down. I think I've made a bad decision here. Is there any resources? Yeah. When we come back, actually, what I think I'll do is I'll move these apart, because if they explode within range of each other, they can actually seriously damage the other one. So that's probably a bad idea for us. So I'll separate them from each other, and then we can think about getting the power there, and then we can start thinking about digging out these rooms and building bedrooms and doing research, hopefully when we can eventually recruit Bite into the team. Anyway, been sort of successful today. Nobody died, which is good, and we've actually got an additional person from our last attack, which is also good. So progress, we're getting there. So when we come back, guys, there'll be more building of the defenses and making it smarter, in fact, and then more mining out, building research, and getting more cooler stuff. But that'll be for then, guys. So until then, stay safe, take care of yourself. Goodbye.